don't feel that way. Seen a whole lot of rapping and a whole lot of get like ice. Yesterday's price is not today's price.
We're situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Today, a fun matchup in the AFC East, as it'll be the Miami Dolphins taking on the New York Jets. The NFL's first ever Black Friday clash. The Dolphins and the Jets underway here at MetLife Stadium. On the return from his end zone, Malik Taylor. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Right to the air is Rodgers. Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play.
Well, this defense certainly knows they're going to have their hands full trying to slow down this passing game. Here's an example on the very first play from scrimmage. I think we'll see some different looks, maybe some pressure from different places, but it didn't work there, and it's a quick first down.
On first down, Rodgers. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be second down. The Jets at 2-8 now on the year. They were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
They'll run for the first time with Breece Hall. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Bradley Chubb. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. So pass interference, the call is so tough as a defender, I'd imagine, to time that up perfectly.
It certainly is difficult to get it exactly right because sometimes you're looking at getting there fractions of seconds too early. That one looked a little more obvious. Always a tough penalty to officiate. Just ask the basketball refs when they have to officiate block and charge.
First down there, but it's incomplete. Mecole Hardman, the intended target, but it'll be second down. You talk about this Miami defense. They played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And they needed to be because that game was a game you don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and they got it done.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. From midfield, here's Rodgers. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Dolphins are going to take over at their own 41.
First down 10 at their own 41-yard line.
To end the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Here's A-Chain to begin the drive. And shedding through the tackle. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Downfield, and he's got Olave. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
And the Dolphins first down.
Ready, guys?
H.A. now up the middle. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On play action, here's Tua. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off. Unable to corral him, he fights through. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Jet touchdown. Well, what a response by that defensive unit, Charles, because they just saw their offense throw the interception. They come out there, not only get an interception of their own, but they take it back for the touchdown.
I won't sing it because no one wants to hear that, but perhaps an early case of anything you can do, I can do better between these defenses. A lot of people came to expect the offense to light this game up, but so far, the defenses are stealing the show.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. 3rd and 4. Now Tua. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. Back deep for the Jets, McCole Hardman. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. You talk about this Miami defense. They come into this one ranked number 17, so just starting the bottom half of the league against the pass.
When they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against the people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league, so there's a conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. It'll go as a gain of 4. 3rd and 7 now. This defense for the Dolphins, they played really well in that win last week against Miami.
And they needed to be, because the game was a game we don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of the game, and each play took on more importance, and they got it done.
That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw here pulled in by Lazard. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
Timing is so important on a route like this, because he's going to line up out right, then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late, because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they take over, they'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. And they put it on the ground here on the 2nd drive, and of course, Charles, that follows drive number 1 where they had the INT.
Makes you wonder what's going on with this team, because a lot of times we can attribute it to nerves, but maybe it's a lack of focus. Maybe it is the preparation for the game. Maybe they just came into it a little lackadaisical, because that's just not looking good at all. That's just not the football that we came here to see.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Dolphins nothing.
From the 44-yard line, here's a 2nd and 8. Here's Tua. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Play action, now it's Tua. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. The former 3rd overall pick, Quentin Williams there to bring him down. Here's Jake Bailey now. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Here's Hardman to return. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And the Jets will take over.
At their own 30-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they've got themselves a 7-0 lead here, but that, you recall, was a defensive touchdown, so still nothing as of yet for this offense.
Well, they're happy to have the lead. We got to cut them a little bit of slack. It's still early enough, just a couple of drives so far, but if this one goes nowhere, those adjustments that we talk about, they shouldn't wait for halftime. They should go ahead and start working on them right now.
Here's 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete.
Looked like they were set up defensively in a zone coverage, but somehow they found a seam because that receiver all alone. By rights, that should have been a touchdown, but somehow this ball's overthrown.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Open man here is Conklin. And he is stopped just short on third down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10.
I thought maybe when he caught, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt. And it'll be Dolphin football.
Their own 39-yard line.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
On second down, a run by H.A. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing incompletion on first down, and you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on third down here. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. From their own 40 to the other 40. The gain of 20 leads to first and 10. Tua going to throw. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. A give up the middle to H.A. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
On second down, Tua. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Quincy Williams worked his way back for that sack.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now. If this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This from 54 yards away. Sanders' kick is good. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
Taylor now from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with a slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
The stop for no gain brings up second and 10 from the 20. Rodgers going to throw. Staying on his feet. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. And a penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Rodgers now on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hall. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. This is Lazard with a catch out left. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. So the completion good for just 3. And that will bring up second down. On second down, a run with Hall. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on it. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. Hall want to give up the middle, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. Down the sideline he goes. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Well, turnabout is fair play, I guess. They had a pick 6 against them earlier, and now this defense, Charles, they get a pick 6 of their own.
And for a moment, let's just set aside how it impacts the scoreboard, because how about the response? One defense gets the pick 6, the other comes back and matches it. These are 2 defenses that are planning on winning the game for their teams themselves.
On the return, it's Taylor from his end zone. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick 6 on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Brandon Jones picking it off. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half.
At the 44-yard line.
A-Chain on 1st and 10. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
His throw complete there to Johnson. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down. The big completion there, and he gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
Very heady football. That allows them the opportunity to go ahead and line up and kick one right before the half ends.
He completes it to Olave. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half on as the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Center's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And he returns this to the 22.
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Tagovailoa to throw on second down here. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. I'm sure a lot of time was spent in the locker room, Charles, with talking with his defense about setting a tone here in the third quarter when you're down on the scoreboard. A sack like that, maybe that can get them going.
Yeah, you have to believe exactly what you just said, that they got together and said, let's be some change agents here. Let's go ahead and turn things around. Let's be the force that gets us going here in the second half and puts us in a position to find a way to win the game.
On third and long, it's Tagovailoa. No, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. That is a tough way to start the third quarter. You get the football, hoping to drive it down, put it in the end zone, and take the lead. Instead, they give them the football.
And I think the key here is for them to not get discouraged. That is not how they drew it up, not how they saw it in their minds. But there's a long way to go in this game. You know, they've just got to find a way to come back one play at a time. Yes, it's a cliche, but they can get...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Couple of Alabama guys there. 2 and a Waddle for the Miami first. Off of play action. Tagovailoa out to his left. And he wisely will throw that one away.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
It's H8 on the give. And he'll be tackled at the 45 following a gain of just 2. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they can actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Out of the gun on third down. Here's Tua.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand. And that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Rodgers now on first down. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer?
And my goodness, another interception.
Brandon Jones picking it off.
And he will bring it back to the 4-yard line. Suddenly it's first and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here.
A-Chain will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2.
From the 2 now, second and goal.
A-Chain once more. And this time he'll score. Touchdown, Miami.
That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Taylor now from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
23-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And in fact, we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
Jalen Phillips picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored him, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Johnson's got it complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down.
Out of the gun, here's a give to A-Chain.
And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
It's been a struggle this entire game trying to move the ball on the ground. But every now and then you find a little chink in the armor, and that type of run right there lets them know that they can't stop every single run for almost no gain.
Looking to pass. Tua. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami.
Elijah Higgins,
His 4th touchdown on the year.
and the Dolphins will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money, in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that will make this a 19-point game.
Jets 7. Jake Bailey set to kick off.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
On the return, it's Taylor from his end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Rodgers will try again on 2nd down.
That's going to be caught downfield by Lazard.
It's a big play that time by the Jets. 42 yards. Three-quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Jets 7.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
Straight ahead is Hall.
And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Hall again on 2nd down.
And it's out. He put it on the carpet.
Oh, one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
Could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. And I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up by his team, fumble recovered. They still have an opportunity deep in the red zone.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
So Rodgers will depart, and on is Greg Zuerlein for the Jets field goal.
From the left hash, a chip shot here. Zuerlein's kick is up and through. And with that last field goal, that puts him now at 300 made on his career, and that is something to celebrate.
And that puts him in the top 30 all time. So he's really made a mark, and he's got plenty of life left in that leg, that's for sure.
shedding defenders at the 15. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Ready, Josh?
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
From the 35, here's a 2nd down and 9. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. This one caught downfield by Higgins. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A gain there of 30 big ones. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Now a toss right side, A-Chain. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Play action. Now it's Tua. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Jalen Waddle there. And now it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line.
On the handoff, it's A-Chain. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 83 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage. The stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
Tries the left side and finds Olave. Touchdown, Dolphins. Chris Olave. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Dolphins are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Well, I've heard you use the term put-away drive, and that right there seemed like the definition of a put-away drive.
Yeah, it certainly just pops right up out of the book, doesn't it? Because up 2 scores already, just wanted to possess the football, keep converting and picking up first downs. And if the drive ends in 3 points, that's terrific. If it ends in a touchdown, fantastic.
Jake Bailey set to kick off.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Taylor now from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout that's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Rodgers' throw here going to be caught by Wilson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A first catch there for Wilson and a first down.
To throw is Rodgers. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Oh, pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
At their own 32-yard line.
All right, come on.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15.
Olave motioning to the left. Here's A-Chain.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
91 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long.
2nd and 7.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in.
Here's 2nd and 7.
And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the 1st down. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now. The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the Jets offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here, things not looking good. This offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, their defense has really struggled.
And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. Ball again on 2nd down.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a 1st with 3rd down looming.
They'll run with Hall.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape, and that is not going to get it done. Now the Dolphins going to burn the 1st of their timeouts. It's just their 1st. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New York. Oh, it's a wobbler here. Yeah, that'll cross midfield here, not by much. Out of bounds just on the other side of the 50.
46-yard line.
First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive.
Well, CD, this is the ideal situation in the fourth quarter. You come out here late, not much time on the clock, with a comfortable lead, and put the final nail in the coffin.
Yeah, this offense, all game long, they've been powerful, they've been dangerous. You're exactly right. They can end this one on their own terms.
Right back to A-Chain on second down.
And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final.